So we're just going to talk through or recap 3 key relaxation exercises that you could potentially use. So really you've got to think about, do you currently get any of your clients to perform any relaxation exercises either at the end of your session? If you work one-on-one, do you allow any time to do something like that? If you run group environments, so like ETM classes or circuit training classes, do you do any relaxation at the end of your sessions? Now, for a lot of people, if the answer normally is no, because there's not really enough time to do that properly and effectively and, allow people to get their full workout involved. Sometimes instructors have been known to run like a relaxation session, so they tell people, well, the session's going to be a bit longer because we're going to do a relaxation session at the end, or on a week they teach about relaxation as a bit like a workshop so that people can be doing it at home, or they just actually give people like handouts or educate people on how to do things and get them to encourage a better routine for them practicing relaxation. And the reason that we want to get people to perform some sort of relaxation exercises is because medical conditions such as high blood pressure, people with depression, anxiety or stress, or people even with insomnia, so they struggle to sleep, would really benefit from getting used to any form of relaxation exercise. It just calms the body, it helps with the chemical balance in the brain, it helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and therefore bring down heart rate, breathing rate, and generally helps to switch the mind off of the thoughts that it is initially thinking about, especially for people that can't sleep very well. So what are some of the exercises that you could encourage your clients to do or even teach them to do? Now, most of them are very, very basic because you don't want to overcomplicate things, otherwise people won't do it and we won't implement it. So the first one is just deep abdominal exercises related to breathing. So deep abdominal breathing exercises. So in order to perform this exercise, all you do, or you encourage your clients to do, is put one hand on their abdominals and one hand on their upper chest. And you want them to either sit down for this exercise or lie down if at all possible, and close their eyes just so that they can try and relax a bit further. Then the aim is to get people to breathe in through the nose for either a count of 2 or 3. And whilst they breathe in through their nose, their stomach, so their diaphragm, should be expanding. So their stomach should rise. Then you get them to breathe out through their lips, so ideally pursed lips, so slight gap, so you're like, and you do that for twice as long as you've inhaled through the nose for. So if we were counting in through the nose for 2, we would exhale out through the mouth for a count of 4, and then in for 3 would be out for 6. So whatever that is most comfortable in terms of time for the individual, that's what's going to be the one to start with. Initially, people find it a bit hard to slow down and calm down their breathing, so it's easier to start with just the 2s and 4s. So we've breathed in through our nose for 2, for example, out through the mouth for 4. When we're breathing out, that's when the abdominal should actually be coming in. So we want to contract the abdominals whilst we breathe out. And that's kind of the reverse of what a lot of people want to do. So you breathe in through the nose, the stomach should expand. Breathe out through the mouth, draw your stomach muscles in. And you want people to just really get used to that, familiarise themselves with that. So that's why it takes a bit of time. Now it's best to try and practice this for around 5 to 10 minutes, and again make sure that the environment is going to be suitable, so they're sitting, lying, and hopefully it's a quiet area, maybe relaxation music or other calming effects in the room. It does take a while for people to get used to this type of thing. Like if you've not done it before and I've just explained that to you now, you're probably still sitting there and really consciously thinking about what it is you're doing. But the more often you do it and the more often your clients do it, the more familiar they'll get with it, and it just becomes a bit more of a natural routine for them. So that's deep abdominal breathing. That's the first one. The second one is a little bit similar. It's called Benson's relaxation method. You might have heard of it. And it's the same type of principle, but again we want to make sure that we are fully relaxed, ideally laying down, making sure that you're just very aware of all of your muscle groups to begin with. In this one we want to try and relax all muscle groups, so working from the toes up to the head or head down to the toes, depending on what's most comfortable, but literally thinking about each of the muscle groups to begin with and just allowing them to relax. Just allow the shoulders to drop down and back, allow the legs to flop and the feet to tip down to the side, out to the sides if you're laying down. So once you've released all the tension and just made your body very loose and relaxed, then you can start focusing on the breathing element. So again, like I said before, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. But this time it's a case of breathing in through the nose and then out through the mouth whilst saying the word one in your head. So each time you breathe out, you say one. That's the focus. So again, you need your eyes shut. You really need to be fully relaxed, and then just really spend, this one's a lot longer, so you spend normally around 10-15 minutes up to 20 minutes doing this one, because you need your brain to kind of get used to the activity, but then also switch off, if that makes sense. So you're going to breathe in and out, keeping all your muscles relaxed, being aware that all of the tension out of your muscles is leaving, and then you need to practice saying one as you exhale. So that's a little bit harder than the previous one. Does this make sense so far? Hopefully it does. So the third exercise and the final exercise is one that's probably a little bit more relevant to fitness, a fitness session as such, and that's called progressive muscle relaxation. Now, again, has elements of the previous one in it, but it's more about making sure you are fully aware of the tension that you carry in your body. And a lot of people on a daily basis have a lot of different stresses, lots of things that they have to do. Tension is just part of our lifestyles at the moment. Stress is part of our lifestyle. So it can be very easy to start showing that stress through the way that we stand and the way that we feel and where we feel discomfort. So for example, a lot of people have stress in their upper body around here or in their lower back, sometimes right down to their like calves and ankle area. So for this exercise, again, can be done seated or standing. The aim is to try and create tension in each muscle group as you work through the body, and then release it so that you can appreciate what it feels like for each muscle group to be tensed and then relaxed. So if we were talking about starting with like your feet, for example, you're laying down on the floor, you contract your feet muscles. So really what that essentially means is scrunching up your toes. So you scrunch up your toes really, really hard. Hold it for a count of 3 to 5 seconds and then relax the toes. Just feel like the tension release from the foot area. Then you'll work up to like the calves, so you tense the calves. Hold it for 3 to 5 seconds and release it. And you work your way up the body. So for the knees, you'd press your knees down into the ground to contract the thighs as well, and so on and so forth. Work your way up to the upper body. And then you've got your shoulders, so again you would get them to literally push all the pressure up through your shoulders and then relax the shoulders down, because it's like we can quite easily continue to hold a posture that's a bit more awkward like this for a longer period of time without realising that we're not actually relaxed. And that's what we're trying to get people aware of. So the same can be done for the neck, you know, feeling tension in the neck and then releasing it out of the neck. So work through each part of the body. If you want to perform this exercise, then you can maybe research the main muscle groups that are easiest to do. They vary a little bit depending on where you research, or just think about the main muscle groups that you would find easiest to contract and then relax. So again, this probably takes around 10 minutes to perform this. It's done best when laying down, just because you can contract more muscle groups that way, whereas a seated posture, obviously you're already holding yourself in an upright position to a degree. So get used to it yourself if you're going to start trying to teach this to people either in your sessions or as their homework, because you can't really teach something that you're not very familiar with. So make sure you spend a bit of time with it first and then see whether it's something suitable that you can integrate into your sessions. Now, like I say, some of them, especially the Benson's relaxation one, that's probably a bit long to go into a fitness session or on the end of a fitness session. But progressive muscle relaxation or just some gentle deep abdominal breathing, those things can be done in sort of 10 minutes. So you could add them on if you felt like your client would benefit from them. And the best thing to do is explain the reason for it, because sometimes people feel a bit silly when they're being asked to do exercises like that, especially if it's not the most private of areas. So explain the benefits of doing it. And if people can understand that, then they might engage with it more, and then they'll hopefully do it more at home as well. And just from my experience, when I've been working with people that have had heart attacks in phase 4 cardiac rehab, because they've been educated on the importance of relaxation by the hospital, and they have sections after their exercise program to lay down. They get to lay down with a pillow. It looks ever so comfortable. Sit in a chair, obviously, if they've got conditions which mean that they can't lay down. They listen to some music while someone talks them through relaxation exercises. Initially, they all say, I felt a bit stupid to begin with. It's not really something that I would do. But after 3, 4, 5 weeks of it, they're all loving it, and then they miss it once they have to leave. So they've kind of just got used to that routine. They realise how much better they feel for it. Now, depending on obviously who your clients are, just decide whether that's going to be something that would benefit from them. Because if they have a fast-paced lifestyle, if they work in a stressful job, if they do a lot of commuting, things like this, then they'll probably all benefit from some relaxation. So hopefully those 3 methods make sense to you. Let me just recap them. So the first one was deep abdominal breathing. The second one was Benson's relaxation method. And the third one was progressive muscle relaxation. So let me know if you decide to try any of these in your sessions or try educating your clients to do them at home. Let me know in the comment section below, because I'd love to hear how you get on with it. If you have any other questions about this section, then again, put them in the comments. If not, maybe just do a little bit more research on how best to explain this to your clients so that they take it on board. I hope that's helped you, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.